Edexcel AS Business Studies Revision Screencast 3, Unit 1.3.3, Evaluating a Business Opportunity. In this unit, you need to know about the different methods of market research, market size, growth and market share, market segmentation, niche markets, how businesses may use market mapping, test marketing and product trials, and the trade-off between opportunities and opportunity costs. So, market research is about how businesses find out what their customers require. And there are two main methods of market research. Primary research, which is carried out yourself or on your behalf for a specific purpose, usually using questionnaires, interviews, surveys, observations, and that's also known as field research. Secondary research is using information that already exists, for example looking at industry information in newspapers or on the internet, and that can be referred to as desk research. We've also got quantitative and qualitative research. Quantitative research is usually gathered using closed or option questions, so things like yes or no, true or false, or giving people a number of choices, and that is data that can be analysed numerically, so we can get a percentage of people that have given each response. Qualitative research is gathering in-depth views or opinions from a small number of respondents, usually gathered through open questions. It isn't possible to ask everybody, so businesses usually carry out their market research on a sample of the population. And there are four main methods of sampling. Firstly, random sampling. So just standing on the street corner and asking everyone who passes you by. Systematic sampling might be choosing to ask every 10th person. Stratified random sampling is when you divide the population into segments and then ask an equal number of random people from each market segment. Quota sampling is looking at getting a quota of number of people in your target market. So for example, More magazine might set a quota of 50 girls in their 18 to 25 age group because that's their target market. Businesses are always interested in their market share, and that is the term used to describe the proportion of a particular market that's held by a business, brand or product. It's calculated by sales of a business divided by total sales in the market times 100, and it's usually shown in a pie chart like the one you can see on your screen now. Market share is interesting for a business because it will also affect the profits that they gain. So, market size can be measured by the total number of units produced by all of the suppliers in the market or by the total revenue generated by all the suppliers in the market. If a market is growing, a business will need to increase their own sales at the same rate in order to maintain their market share. So, if a market is growing, a business could make the same revenue one year and the following year, but see their market share fall because the total sales of the market have increased. So a business will want to monitor their market size to make sure they maintain their stake in the market and don't lose ground to competitors. Businesses often use market segmentation when it comes to selling their products, and market segmentation involves breaking the market into subgroups which share similar characteristics. We could segment the market based on where people live, their age, gender, income, ethnicity, lifestyle or their behaviour. And segmenting the market allows a business to do more research into one particular group of customers to identify their requirements so they can make sure that the product, service or the way they market their product and service meets the needs and the expectations of that segment of the market. So for example, if we look at River Island or Topshop, they are targeting young people. They're targeting people under the age of 25. So the models look young, the clothes are very funky and fashionable, the price point is one that's affordable for teenagers and people in their early 20s. So they really make it clear who their customers are. So you wouldn't expect to buy something in River Island for your grandma, for example. So using market segmentation allows a business to best define and meet the needs of their customers. Some businesses go for a niche market strategy, which is targeting a small, distinct sub-segment of the market. So, really well-defined small segment of the market is a niche. There's usually only a small number of suppliers meeting the specific needs of customers in the niche market, but it's usually only a strategy employed by small or medium-sized businesses because only modest profits can be made. An example of a niche market would be, for example, my dad's company sells electronic point-of-sale systems for health food shops. So his customers are all health food shops. So there are lots of companies that sell tills and back office systems. Think about the companies that supply Tesco's and Sainsbury's and Morrison's. My dad's not competing with those customers, those businesses. His customers are just health food shops, not big supermarkets. So that's a niche market. Now obviously the opposite from that is a mass market, and some businesses are lucky enough to sell mass market products, which gives them a scope to sell to everybody and obviously make a lot more profit. And mass market products would be things like Cadbury's chocolate, Heinz baked beans, things that people in all market segments will buy. When businesses are trying to identify the product or service or the approach that they should take, very often you use market mapping. And this looks at different variables and trying to identify where competitors might be on those, looking at these variables, trying to identify where competitors are, so a gap in the market can be identified, and then a business can try and, fill that gap in the market. So market mapping consists of identifying key variables about a product and plotting where existing brands or suppliers are in terms of combining the variables, then identifying any gaps in the market. So for example, if we look at this market map here, we've looked at price and quality, so we can see that Ruby's Cafe offers a high price offering with high quality, and the Quick Stop offers basic quality with a low price, so different strategies. And we could start to see where a gap in the market might exist. So on this example, perhaps we might look at a kind of mid-quality, mid-price range and look at somewhere here. Market mapping can help a business build up their competitive advantage, and a competitive advantage is a distinctive feature that makes a business successful. Sources of competitive advantage include innovation, relationships, reputation and price. So innovation would be coming up with something new. So Apple use innovation as their source of competitive advantage with their iPad, iPhone. Relationships will be about building competitive advantage based on relationships with customers, perhaps customer service, or building their reputation for quality, or through price. So Aldi and Lidl target very low price, and that's their source of competitive advantage. Whatever a strategy a business adopts, they will need to demonstrate that they've added value. They need to add value to demonstrate to their customers that they, to try and prove to their customers that it's worth paying more than the components. So for example, if you think about a chicken salad, you could probably make a chicken salad yourself for less than £2, but if you went into a restaurant you might be expecting to pay £7 or £8. So why would you pay that? You'll pay that because in a restaurant you've got the convenience of it being prepared for you. You don't have to do the washing up, you're sitting in a nice environment, you can perhaps have a drink, you can sit with your friends. So you're paying for that experience, and that's the restaurant demonstrating to you added value. A business can demonstrate added value by providing good service, perhaps through delivering, perhaps providing a warranty or a guarantee, quality or brand name. So why would you spend more on a Superdry jumper than you would on a jumper from Asda? You're paying for the brand name, and that brand name signifies quality to you, which is why you might be prepared to pay £40 or £50 for the Superdry jumper and maybe £5 or £6 for the jumper from Asda. When businesses are trying to launch products, new products, it's a very costly process, not only in actually doing the research and development, but also in trying to persuade customers to buy it and making sure that the marketing is right, the packaging is right, the price is right. It's a very difficult process, and businesses often use test marketing, and that's when a new product is tested on a small representative section of the total market. So it's launching a product in one small geographical area or perhaps in one store and looking at customers' reactions. And this allows a business to judge reactions before going ahead with the launch. But the downside is it gives competitors an opportunity to see the new product and perhaps launch one of their own before the product goes national. A product trial might work in a similar way. Or you could give customers a free trial of a product when they buy another product in the range and judge their reactions from that kind of free trial size pack. Ask people's opinions, see how popular that is, and use that as a way of trialling your new product and getting feedback on your new product. Whatever a business chooses to do, their decision will have an opportunity cost, and this is a key concept that you will come across in lots of different areas of business studies. An opportunity cost is the benefit of the next best alternative which is given up when a decision is made. So a business might choose to do some marketing, or they might choose to invest in a new machinery. The money that they choose to spend, they can only use once. So if they decide to buy the new machinery, then they lose out on the sales that might be generated from the marketing. So opportunity cost is a benefit of the next best alternative which is given up when a decision is made. So in this section we've looked at market research, primary and secondary, quantitative and qualitative. We have looked at market share, market growth, market size. We've looked at approaches that businesses might take in terms of market segmentation, mass marketing or niche marketing. We have discussed the fact that businesses need a competitive advantage and they need to demonstrate added value to their customers. And finally, we've looked at opportunity cost, the benefit of the next best alternative which is given up when a decision is made. So, I hope you found this screencast useful. Good luck with your revision and with your exams, and thank you for listening.